Hello, welcome everyone. This is a webinar by the Healthcare Working Group, TransplantChild. It's Esteban Frauca, member of the TransplantChild Executive Committee and member of TransplantChild Healthcare Working Group as a coordinator. I work in La Paz, Hospital La Paz in Madrid, in the liver transplantation and pediatric hepatology unit. Well, the subject of this webinar is reporting to all of you the Clinical Patient Management System, CPMS report of the activity since February 2020 to February 2021, last year. Okay, all of you know very well what CPMS is and what is its use. It's based application with the goal, with the objective of support ERN members in the diagnosis or treatment of rare diseases or complex conditions. And it's a very useful tool for sharing clinical cases and discuss them with other European experts. So every professional in the different centers of the network can access to the experience of other colleagues, other professionals demanding their experience in specific topics or types of clinical cases. Well, as I have said, any professional can request advice to a panel of experts selected depending on which is the topic or which is the clinical case is about. So they will give their experience and they constitute their advice to the professional who has requested this advice. I want to remark at this point that the CPMS is the CPMS activity is a really key activity among the others that the network that TransplantChild develops. It's a key activity that also reflects in some way the commitment by any other of the centers who are in the network. Also, it's an indicator of the activity of the network, and this is really important, and it's related closely to the sustainability of the different activities of the network. And there are clear indicators of this activity as the number of new panels, the total number of panels opened by the ERN, and the total number of panels open by each of the centers who that are in the network. Also, another indicator is the number of active users of the CPMS, the total number of active users, and the number of active users by each of the centers in the network. Well, in some way, all of us, every center, we have agreed in the commitment in uploading 3 cases every year by each center, and each professional or a professional from each of the centers have to contribute to 3 panels as an expert to discuss and to give the advice requested by the professional who has uploaded the clinical case. These are the 3 different phases of the process. I'm not going to enter because most of you will know perfectly well how the platform works and how to use it. Well, in a more practical sense, the objectives from this last year, from every year, is to achieve a sustained activity over time in the whole year, and to upload and discuss at least 37 cases since March 2020 until March 2021. And the third practical objective was to get a response time adapt to the different situations of urgency of each case, and in any case, no longer than 2 weeks once the panel has been open, the case has been uploaded to the platform. Well, this is just to show you that there is a lot of professional specialists in different fields, all of them obviously related with pediatric transplantation, and it's an open panel, so we want everyone who wants to be included to communicate, so they will be included in these panels to form the committee or the panel of experts to discuss any case upload to the platform. Well, this is the activity in the last year. As you can see in the orange bars, the activity has increased all over the year. We have at the end, so get 37 at the end new cases in this year. But if you can see here in the square, most of the activity, most of the cases that have been uploaded to the platform have been uploaded in the last 3 months. So most of the activity has been concentrated since December 2022 up to now. And well, it's fine, but it will be able to, in some way, to get a sustained activity all over the year. So in some way, the workload that this activity represents for every professional in some way is distributed more regularly over the year. But well, the total numbers, 37 patients in 37 cases in 31 different patients. Well, the number of registered users at the moment are 126. 75% of them have been active during this last year. That means that active users are the many members who are actively using the system, and hopefully we want to increase this number. Has been increasing in this year. And in the last of the lines, in the last line, you can see the number of panels, the cumulative number of panels open from the 35 in February 2019 to 116 in February 2021. So we are increasing our numbers. Probably we would ask for a higher number of cases uploaded, but we have increased in the last year anyway. If we reflect the activity by each healthcare provider, as you can see, it's not homogeneous. There are some centers in grid with a high or very high activity. That means 3 or more cases uploaded to the platform, and there are other centers that didn't upload any case. Among them, obviously, those new members that until now they have no upload any case logically, and we expect them to start their activity in the next weeks, in the next months. In terms of the number of registered users, you can see also that it's not homogeneous and there are differences between centers. And well, there are positive effect. The positive thing is that some new TransplantChild members have already get their user status to participate actively in the CPMS in the next weeks or months. So it's well, in terms of members of different centers who has in some way contribute to the different panels as experts, as you can see, the distribution is more homogeneous than when we talk about number of cases or number of registered users. So that means some commitment by professionals to participate, to contribute to the discussion of cases, and to give their experience to constitute what is at the end the advice to another of our colleagues with a very specific clinical case. Well, if we look for the activity per type of transplant, you can see that the 50% of the cases have been related to liver transplantation, 22% of kidney transplantation, and 7% small bowel, 10% hematopoietic stem cell transplantation, 5% heart, and 5% lung transplantation. I think it's significant in some way that a type of transplant with such high numbers as hematopoietic stem cell transplantation is only 10% of the cases were related with that type of transplant. In some way, I think we have to increase some numbers of different type of transplants in the future, in the near future. Well, regarding the panel's workflow, just to say that although the activity of the system is increasing on time and the TransplantChild members are becoming more and more familiar with the system, we have still some problems that delay the panel's workflow. And probably the average time of panel, since the panel is open to the moment it's closed, is still, I think, a little bit longer, 110 days. And this is probably because very often panels get stuck in some stages pending on any member's action, for example, in panel selection. So if one of the members who participate in the panel stop this workflow, the whole panel in some way gets delayed. You can see if we compare the median time which a panel has been closed with the last year, we have improved from February 2019 to February 2020 was 174 days, and this last year we have got 110 days. So we have improved, but I think we have not improved enough to really be satisfied with how long a panel is open, and so how long the professional receive the advice that he has required to the network. Well, a very, very, very important aspect is that, as most of you know, there is a help desk support, continuous support to the users of the platform. It's a key element in all of this activity, and is at the end are the ones who guide every panel, every clinical case, and will be continuously offering the support, so making things much more easier, and at the end are in some way the responsibles of the success of this tool, of this element of CPMS, and so there is a close monitoring of all these steps by the members of the help desk, the assistants, the support members in the activity, and help the panels to go further, to go ahead, and to be more dynamic. This is the the scheme of how things work. I'm not going to enter in detail, but everything has been established to get the as most help as possible and as much support as possible. Well, in summary, what I want to say is that the CPMS activity has increased significantly since the platform was operational in November 2017, both in the number of active users and in the number of clinical case upload. We are constantly increasing our numbers, but I think we have to improve also in this area. TransplantChild members are becoming more and more familiar with the system. We have recently included new members in the network, so we have to work with them so they will be in some way familiar to the platform as more quick as possible. The help desk is being effective in both in technical support and in the coordination and monitoring of activity in the CPMS, very important as a key indicator for the activity of the network, TransplantChild. But there are still problems to be solved, and probably the most important of them is the prolonged time to generate a response from the panel of experts. The last year, again, more than 100 days, so as a median. So we need to improve, obviously, this. And work is being done from the coordination of the TransplantChild to simplify the process and to shorten the workflow. But in order to achieve a fully operational activity, the maximum involvement of all the members of the network will be necessary, both in the uploading of new cases, but also in the participation as experts in the panels to discuss the clinical cases. Well, the next steps in this activity, I think we are now inside a CPMS system simplification by the DG Santé, by the European Union, and that will make probably will simplify the use of the platform with less panel steps, and will be a platform easier to use in the near future. I want to remark that every patient who is uploaded to the platform need to have informed consent signed, and there will be a common consent from both the platform and the registry, Peter registry of TransplantChild is our idea. And we want new members and affiliated partners to start uploading cases once they learn how to use the platform and get use the password to enter the platform. So thank you very much. If you have any question, this is one of the most important things I have shown you, and it's the mail of the help desk. This is where you can go for help in every thing you want, learning how to use the platform, resolve any problem that you have when you are using the platform, get your user account to enter the platform, both for uploading patients, but also for form the panel of experts that will discuss the clinical cases. And this is the mail who is going to offer you all the help for these tasks. And thank you very much for your attention.